Where am I? What?
Where the fuck are we?
Why do you sound like that?
I don't know. Why do you look like a meth head? Okay, but seriously, where the fuck are we?
I have no idea.
What the fuck?
Mortal Kombat on Game Boy.
I am as confused as you are.
We don't even have a Game Boy to play these.
Well, that's convenient.
I guess we're gonna have to play these then.
We have to review the games.
The fuck?
My guess is that, if we review these games, we will be let out of whatever this place is.
Makes sense.
Put the first game in.
Mortal Kombat, a series you've probably at least heard of once or twice in the last 10 years. Or the last 32 years. Originally released in 1992 in arcades, and later ported to home consoles and handhelds, Mortal Kombat is a fighting game series mostly known for its blood and pretty over-the-top finishing moves, which are called fatalities. The series has at least 28 games, with its most recent game being pretty decent with some serious problems. And of course, we're looking at the handheld games. Well, the first 3 Game Boy games anyways. So let's look at the first game, Mortal Kombat for Game Boy, released in 1993. Okay, right off the bat, the title screen doesn't look that bad. Like, it actually looks pretty decent. This version of the game only has 6 characters instead of the normal 7. We have Liu Kang, Raiden, Sonya, Kano, Scorpion, and Sub-Zero. Scorpion and Sub-Zero look exactly the same. Oh, and there's no Johnny Cage. The character portraits and the character select look... yeah. And the actual game is not very good. The controls are unresponsive, and honestly, it just feels like shit to play this, and man, I'm not enjoying this at all. It may look like I suck ass at this, but honestly, the game's just shit. The AI is just kicking the shit out of me.
Alright, let me try. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. The controls are very unresponsive, and the AI is already kicking my ass.
The game isn't very fun to play at all. Also, the music isn't very good either. I mean, listen to the arcade version. Then the Sega Genesis music. And now the Game Boy music. The Game Boy music just isn't very good at all.
Wait, why didn't you mention the Super Nintendo music? Anyways, I managed to beat the first fight at least.
Honestly, while this is bad, this isn't the worst thing I've ever played. Like, I've played some god-awful games before. This is bad, but honestly, it could be worse. I would have played it more, but the controls are what's stopping me.
To be honest, same.
Well, now that we have that out of the way, it's time to move on to Mortal Kombat 2 on Game Boy, also released in 1993. Okay, so we have 8 characters this time. Liu Kang, Reptile, Katana, Sub-Zero, Shang Tsung, Melina, Scorpion, and Jax. Raiden, Baraka, Johnny Cage, and Kung Lao were left out. And this is actually pretty good. The controls are responsive, the AI still has its normal Mortal Kombat 2 bullshit. If you played the original game, you'll know what I'm talking about. Oh, and the music isn't as bad as the first game either. To compare, listen to the Mortal Kombat 2 arcade music. then the Sega Genesis music. And now the Game Boy music. While I honestly much prefer the Genesis soundtrack, the Game Boy one isn't all that bad. That's just my personal opinion, though.
You forgot to mention the Super Nintendo soundtrack again.
Fuck off! Honestly, this is pretty damn fun. A lot better than the first one by all means. Hell, I made it all the way up to Shang Tsung. Well, the first one was bad. This one turned out to be pretty good. Made it pretty far, too. But now, we move on to Mortal Kombat 3 on Game Boy, released in 1995. Just like the last game, we have 8 characters. Sub-Zero, Kano, Sonya, Cabal, Sindel, Shiva, Sector, and Cyrax. Kung Lao, Nightwolf, Jax, Scorpion, Shang Tsung, Liu Kang, and Stryker are missing. I think Smoke is in the game, though. I could be wrong. And the controls are, again, unresponsive. It honestly isn't as much of a problem here as it was in the first game. Well, unless it happens near the end of the round. I mean, what the fuck, man? But honestly, this is bad. And I don't have much to say that I didn't already say about the first game. And I'm not even going to try and compare the music, because I mean, it's bad. You probably already guessed that, but yeah, game's shit. That's about all I can say. So that was Mortal Kombat on Game Boy. The first game was bad, the second one was good, and the third one was bad. Honestly, I don't know what I was really expecting, though, considering these are ports of a fighting game on the fucking Game Boy.
What now?
I have no idea. What the
What the fuck?
fuck?